Right, this is the Freedom Factory 500's black FTO. She's a beast and she's 200 brake horsepower at 8,000 revs. So what we'll do today is we will just take her into town and get the newsletter done. That's right, the newsletter. So I print a newsletter once a week. Now I could use the chest one, but I'm just trying this on a greater angle. So I'm just having a quick look in here for the chesty. So this is the newsletter. Don't know if you can read it. Newell's Road News, 29th of May, Friday 20th, COVID alert level 2, and it's number 26. News, no new cases. So I'll get that printed off and we'll do the delivery. Right, so we'll do it as quickly as we can. I'm only checking the water because my son bricked the little silver car because he didn't check the water. Dad, it was full the other day. He said it was full last week. So you can see my little oil is on half mast there. So that's good. And then I just checked this one. That's the water and that's good. Everything else is perfect. Just give that battery a little bit more of a tighten. And nitrous oxide in there, it'll be interesting into the throttle body. Come through, B6. Now there's a couple of squeaks in this, the little Freedom Factory 500. So what those squeaks do, I do not know where they come from. So we've got an exhaust out the back, which we could use, and we'll turn that music down because that's not going to help us keep our copyright happening. Now and I suppose there's a thing you got to do with regards to warming the car up. So I should really have the central mount for this, I suppose, but if I go low enough you can see where we are. So we'll just give this, so what I want to hear is the sound of it. I won't give it full noise at the moment because it's still warming up. You can see the little fuel warm up. Tachometer sometimes works, so it's got so used to being up at around 9,000 revs that it's intermittent. When I say used to it, I rev limited it the other day. So the start off, so we're playing 8-ball and Deb's great RX-7 rotary engine person, and so when I left early from the pool, 8-ball on Wednesdays at the Cosy Club, I made sure that I gave it first gear to it rev limited, and then flick this, it goes across there. That's, you got your gears there, so you can change down. We're in 4th at the moment. Want to change down, I can change it down. It's like a paddle shifter. You can change it down. So that's 3rd at the moment. So we're coming up to our little corner, so I can change down again. So we're into 2nd, and I can change it into 1st for the burst. So it still hasn't heated up. That's the main road here in New Zealand. Can you see there? And it still hasn't heated up. So we want our temperature to come up. Got a car behind us. This is only an 80k road, goes into a 60k road, and then after that it's a 100km/h road. So I'm not sure if you guys have been into town with me before. I'll just crouch down. I'll move the seat back so you can actually, how's that? So you can actually see better. And I'll put this up because you've heard the engine. So we're still on low power there. So we're driving into town. This is Tokoroa Freedom Factory. So anyone that's got need to get some new spark plugs, I'll show you where you can get those spark plugs in town. We've got a good engineering, some of the best in the world actually, because 20,000 people built the mill. Started probably planting the trees in the 1930s. Then what we did was we built it 52, 53, opened around there, and after, yeah, so there was probably 64 different languages spoken on site, the brightest and best from the planet. So we've got some really amazing All Blacks. Walter Pelican died. He's got in his will that he was going to destroy that building. It was a perfectly good building, but that's just how it is. Marin Glasima is the lawyer for that, and he's doing a great job in executing the 100 and so. Right, so we're going to come down into here. So this is the new township, 27 million. They plan to redo this and straighten the roads and bits and pieces. They spent 5 million on it. I'm not sure if the second and third stage are going to go ahead, because we had a change of government. Louise Narbiston's no longer member of parliament. Oh, well, she's a member of parliament, but she's no longer in cabinet. So she's no longer part of the executive, and so I think there was a big deal to run a big state highway, 4 or 5, 6 lanes down from a dirt track from Cambridge through. So they had to they had to do something there, and it's good. So finally the car's warmed up, but we can't hear it because it's we're just about to park. So this is my little place that I get my things at times. I don't know when they open. Maybe I'm early. What is the time? Time is yeah, 8:30. Or maybe they do open at 8:30. I could either go here or down to the council, but I'm going here. So there's my newsletter. And I'll get it printed. I could read the newsletter out to you if you want. So what's the newsletter say while we wait? So the news of the day, so there's no new cases in New Zealand Wednesday and Thursday. So Dr. Campbell, so he talks about tests, trace and isolate. So the use of face masks is the simplest way to reduce the R0, which is reproductive R0, by 50%. So a mask stops a person who has no symptoms from passing it on. Without testing, we do not know who has the virus with no symptoms. So a mask shows respect to others in the public place or public transport. Level 2 asks 2 meters distance for normal conversation, and research shows that up to 12 meter distance for a sneeze is required, and between 2 and 8 meters for coughing. So this is the editorial. Oh, so alert level 2 with 2 meters social distancing. So council held its meeting in the Sports and Events Centre. But that's a good idea. But the YouTube South Waikato District Council channel has its last video 2 weeks ago with 74 views. So no council video of the meeting today. Are they serious? The technology is there. The last meeting from the mayor, the last message from the mayor was 2 months ago, titled Important COVID-19 Message from Mayor Jenny Shattuck. So the council staff will not give out the annual plan submissions for public viewing, nor give a timeline on when they will be publicly available. That is appalling and irresponsible in a global pandemic. As a nation, we have worked hard to protect others, and our council is out of touch and irresponsible that it beggars belief. Yes, I was angered by Ben Smith for growling when I helped a senior get rubbish collected in lockdown 4. Fly tipping prosecution, really, Ben? But when I read the annual plan, I see me are removing $14 off the rural folk and putting it on the urban folk for rubbish collection. In other words, we found out that council and its agenda had no interest in helping elderly in the rural areas in a pandemic, and were not flexible, nor was council accommodating with communications. Appalling. When we get past alert level 1, I am going to ask for a royal commission to audit each council of the 60 in New Zealand, to rank them as to how they collect rubbish to see what elder abuse can be highlighted in the conduct of councils. Okay, vitamin D is recommended and get enough sun. Many die due to lack of vitamin D around the world as they come out of winter in the Northern Hemisphere and have been hiding away from the sun. Let's the editor. Why have I not heard of the second wave apart from Newell's Road News? You must have forgotten the long tail that comes beforehand. PB. I spoke to Food Council at 2 cases of SARS-CoV-2 in New Zealand and said that South Waikato District water supply was the most important to protect. At that meeting, it went to 3 cases mentioned by the Mayor. It is now over 1,122 deaths. So I am sorry to give an impression of fake news, and I have no comment on Trump. Unless 5 million New Zealanders are tested, we will not know if SARS-CoV-2 is out of New Zealand. My advice to the Prime Minister is to test 5,000 people as soon as possible. Then I can tell you no second wave. Editor. Advert. Free horse manure placed into the trailer is offered by Joe Howard and 027 685 7717. Kind regards, Editor Rod Young, BSc, BSci Honours, Postgraduate Diploma in Public Policy. Newell's Road News is the 26th. It's number 25 and established on 2020.